Good morning, dear friends, well-wishers, collaborators, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege on behalf of the trustees of Street Providence to welcome you all for this 7 years that we have our foundation day. I think for a small organization, I think these are baby steps, but we have reached a stage where we can really be proud of all the work that we have undertaken. Come to think of it, from what it started as from a small place in Sangolda, today we have reached beyond the borders of Goa. We have ventured into Maharashtra, northern in the Konkan area. We have also gone to Jharkhand, where our bishop today is present. We have also gone to Manipur. I think this has been the giant steps that we have taken, and it's all because of a vision of a young man who's always in a hurry, and I think always doesn't look at any problem that the government is the problem. It has always taken that the government is a stakeholder, and he has been able to achieve that. Right from when I first met him, and he said he felt that his first question, he said, "Sir, your police people are not cooperating with us." I mean, anyone dealing with Donald will find that, this guy, he's a bit too rough while speaking. But then afterwards, I think his success lies in his presentation. We are here today. It is this one man's achievement, the face of it. Although Street Providence have some very wonderful people, Donald being the managing trustee, his sister Jonita being the person behind the scene working on it, Caroline, the legal eye who helps us in all this thing. We have all have contributed, and then after the number of caregivers, the number of persons who work have all contributed to it. I think none of their achievements can be anything small. It is with all this that today we have something like about 11 homes. We inaugurated the last home last evening with Bishop. Then, as I said, we have already started in Manipur. We are hopeful that it will work out in Jharkhand and Sawantwadi also. We have 180 inmates. Let me correct myself. As a police officer, we always say inmates. So I was told we call them residents. So 180 residents we have in our homes. In these 11 homes, there are 64 women, there are 116 males. We have 3 physio centers. Then we have caregivers. I mean, the caregivers, 10 of the caregivers who have done their nursing, and these are ladies who have come from Jharkhand. Can you imagine, from such far places, again because of the collaboration with the Archbishop of Daltonganj, that these ladies are here to help us. We have 6 males Imagine we are serving 1,000 meals per day. I mean, look, this is, and who are the people? Just few people. And when you think, when we having been in the government, we require such a big param and a failure to do all these things. But here are these small things. We also have doctors who are there working with us. We were able to also send about 2 crore worth of goods to Manipur. And imagine we were the first, NGO that was able to reach that place. I had the opportunity of going along over there, and at that point, the governor of the state, she was so happy. She said, "इतना खुशी होता है कि ये छोटा सा प्रांत हिंदुस्तान का मणिपुर में आ गया हमारा सर्विस करने के लिए." I think that was really indeed a very proud moment for all of us. And we went to places where I think it would have been so challenging. Crossing the border was like crossing the India-Pakistan border. We have 23 freezer food freezers, all in different police station areas and certain places. And with that, we have been able to serve the people. So in the 7 years, I think that's quite an achievement. You will see a multimedia presentation. But before I go into this, you please see the participation of some of the people. So now we will have a prayer dance, which is done by our girls who are caregivers from Jharkhand. Thank you.
So weary when troubles come and my heart burden me, and I am still and wait
these young girls are trained nurses, and they are the caregivers to the to the residents of our homes, and they are come all the way from Jharkhand. Thank you very much. Next is a welcome dance. This is by some of the residents as well as the caregivers in our homes.
करते हम दिल से सबका स्वागत हम करते हैं स्वागत करते हम स्वागत करते हम दिल से सबका स्वागत हम करते हैं स्वागतम 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 स्वागतम
It's a long, hard missionary station, I think, and for especially a boy from Goa who we live here in pretty comfort. You can imagine the mission work. Although he is a bishop, he goes about by himself early in the morning, and I think he must be traveling at least 200 kilometers, and still he's ready to travel another 100 kilometers. Thank you very much for coming over here, Bishop. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of our Chief Inspector of Factories, Mr. Pangam. I think his beautiful coordination with all the factories. I think today we are able to raise about nearly 600 meals through different Verna industrial estates. And please, he deserves a round of applause. And please thank you very much, Mr. Pangam. And the person who has, I think, Donald has always been on the, has given him the fighting spirit, is the person, is Mr. Guru Prasad Pavaskar, who is with us, and he is the Commissioner for Person of Disabilities. He understands the situation so well that he has been able to impress with the government that, the small amount of something like 2,000 that was being paid for each person, it is hopefully will see the light of day when something, it raises to a level that, which is more respectable. But as Mr. Guru Prasad has to leave, I would request him before he goes to say a few words. Political.
Yeah, hi everyone. I said I'm not a good speaker, but can't refuse this guy who is sitting in front of me, Donald. It's risky to say no to him. And that's the way he gets his things done. So when he comes to our office, तो येताच अशें घेवन न्ही म्हणजे सामको बेजार जावन येता हें जायना तें जायना पूण सगळें बंद करता कितें चल्लां कांयच चलना हांगा आनी मागीर ताका म्हाका एक 15 मिनटां लागता थंड करपाक मागीर तो थंड जाता and then he starts talking okay आमी अशें करुया आमी तशें करुया and then with a happy smile he goes I'm able to do this till date I don't know in future whether I'll be able to continue it but having said that unless and until there is a pressure on the system there is pressure on the government nothing moves to be very frank and to be very honest and that's the way to do things when you're working in the NGO sector. It's very tough to get things moving at the pace that we want to do and it's a huge achievement what Street Providence has been doing for the last 7 years. I've been connected with Donald for the last couple of years and I wish all the very best. Bishop also is here all the way from Jharkhand. Best wishes to you too because he is also doing a great job there and as Street Providence is expanding its work in other states, it's not an easy task. I sometimes wonder how Street Providence, Donald and the entire team, Bosco and entire team managed to do such a task. It's not easy at all, I'm sure about it. Taking the patients to the hospitals, getting them back, doing a lot of formalities and raising the whole finance that is required to run this shelter is not an easy task. Having said that, the Office of the State Commission will always be there with Street Providence wherever it is required and we will push it hard to ensure that whatever demands and whatever is needed for Street Providence and for shelter homes to run it smoothly, we will be on our job. Thank you so much and best wishes.
Mr. Guru Pavaskar. The main thing is Guru has his heart where it is really required and that is the most understanding thing. Because anything in the government is a challenging thing and if you have the heart to understand where these things have to be pushed through, I think that's the most important thing and he has been able to be very of great help and extend a hand to work on these things. I also want to acknowledge that we have over here people from Central Jail, Superintendent Baladas and also Thomas. And I am fortunate that they were worked under me when I was IG Prisons. And we have been able to even put in place some of the things in Central Jail by Street Providence. I think one of the things was the water purifier, which went a long way. Then afterwards, the roti making machine. I think it has not taken off, or it has taken off this thing. There's also our street fighter over here, Tara Thinkirkar, who has always, when at the time I joined in the police department, I had seen her always, again, she has the simple people, the people less fortunate, you will always see Tara Kirkar fighting for them. Thank you, Tara, and all the others. Now let us continue. Bishop, I request you to give a small token of our appreciation to Mr. Guru Pavaskar as he has to live away. Please. Okay, we'll continue. And as I said with Donald, it is not just Donald. He may be the face. It is also his family that contributes. And I think yesterday the family, as a family, he has completed 20 years of his marriage, and with whom he celebrated with all our residents. I'm sorry, I'm getting inmate, but with all the residents over here, simple full. And to take this step forward, we now have his young children, David, who will be fighting Goliath in the future, and Rebecca will give us a small performance over here. Come, thank you.
The world is searching for an answer, a ray of hope in a hopeless world. Who can we turn to? Where is our rescue? There is someone, he's the answer, he's the light, and he'll light the way. His name is Jesus, and he came to save us. He is the light, 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 light of the world, and he shines all over the earth, shining bright, bright, bright. He is the light of the world. He is the light, 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 light of the world, and he shines all over the earth, shining bright, bright, bright. He is the light of the world. The world is searching for an answer, a ray of hope in a hopeless world. Who can we turn to? Where is our rescue? There is someone, he's the answer, he's the light, and he'll light the way. His name is Jesus, and he came to save us. He is the light, 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 light of the world, and he shines all over the earth, shining bright, bright, bright. He is the light of the world. He is the light, 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 light of the world, and he shines all over the earth, shining bright, bright, bright. He is the light of the light of the world, and he shines all over the earth, shining bright, bright, bright. He is the light of the world.
He's going to take David to Jharkhand because he has to fight a lot of Goliaths in that land. So all the best to you. We'll continue with our program, and now we have an action song by the residents of our shelter homes. Lovely ladies from our shelter home, please come forward on the stage. The stage is all for you. So yes, हम होंगे कामयाब. We will accomplish. हम जीतेगा. We also have in our presence one of the most firebrand activist over here and who has been of great support to Donald and the Street Providence is Rama Kandkorkar. Please give him a big hand. Thank you, Rama, for being present over here for this occasion. And it is such a nice day, a lot of enthusiasm. So our caregivers are going to give us one more dance. So please let them come on the stage and keep encouraging them. These are young ladies from Jharkhand. They are our caregivers. Come to think of it, they come all the way from such a distant place to serve here the people of Goa. 180 of our residents are there. 80% are Goans, and we don't have any Goans coming and helping out over here. But all this is possible again because of the network and cooperation that we receive from the various people. And as I said, the Bishop of Jharkhand over here has been of great help to us. So yes, now let us continue. And I will now request Jonita, our trustee of Street Providence, and the real backbone who coordinates all the activities that Donald puts forward. And let us welcome her with a big round of applause as well. And thank you, she welcome us.
As trustee at Street Providence, I'm delighted to welcome each and every one of you today as we gather to celebrate this significant milestone, the 7th anniversary of our beloved NGO, Street Providence Trust, dedicated to serving the hungry and the homeless. 7 years ago, Donald and his wife Dorothy decided to extend a helping hand to the poor and the needy in their vicinity. Little did they know then this incredible journey that lay ahead. Since that day until today, our NGO has extended in both its reach and its scope thanks to the unwavering support of many like-minded individuals, like our dedicated staff, our volunteers, our benefactors, government officials, government staff, our community partners and corporate partners. Each and every one of you present here today have done your bit to end hunger and homelessness. I welcome His Excellency Bishop Theodore Mascarenhas, Bishop of Daltonganj, Jharkhand. Last evening, Bishop blessed our 11th shelter home for bedridden persons with disabilities. But the association of Street Providence with Bishop goes a long way to 2018 when he inaugurated our 2nd shelter home. At that time, we at Street Providence were in an infancy stage and we were doubting ourselves if we could really handle persons with disabilities. And when I look back, Bishop, he had faith in us. He said, look, you just go ahead, my prayers are with you. So today we are at our 11th shelter home here and 3 more outside Goa. So I'm really grateful for his presence here today. To our staff, who are the real heroes and heroines in this NGO. They say heroes and heroines wear capes, but the ones in our NGO, they don't wear capes. They're carrying food, they're carrying food bags, they're carrying people to the hospitals, they are carrying medicines, so on and so forth. And this is headed by none other than our Never Say No project manager, Sapnesh. He won't say no to a rescue or to a food outreach program. Very recently, we had a call at 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was a homeless woman who needed shelter that night. It was a medical situation, it was a delicate situation. And the call came through from the police department who partnered with us in the rescue. And immediately at 1 o'clock, the wheels were set in motion. The volunteer was asked to go and meet the homeless person. The nearest shelter home was instructed to keep their doors open. So caregiver and shelter home in charge were awake. And before the sun rose the next morning, this admission was complete. Now, when I say admission, you must understand that homeless people are subject to a lot of abuse. So when they come into the shelter home, there's always a trust issue. So it is our caregivers are the ones that spend time building up the trust of the person before they can admit them and ensure that they feel secure and safe. So these are the heroes and heroines that I'm acknowledging today. During COVID, yes, I think they need a clap. During COVID, as you all know, the situation was really grim. Many people lost their jobs, but more so in the unorganized sectors. And you would know that when jobs are lost in the unorganized sectors, within a week it translates to no food at home. So our food banks were receiving a lot of requests for food, for dry grain. But Street Providence at that time was in a dilemma. Should we risk the health and the lives of our staff and volunteers? That time, COVID was at its peak and the vaccine had not yet hit the market. So what do? But the volunteers themselves came up and said, no, we should continue giving food, because if we don't feed the poor, what will they eat? These are the heroes and heroines I would like to commend today. To put it in a nutshell, one of the volunteers, he summed it up this way. He said, my family, they are not too happy that I am distributing food because it's COVID, and I understand them. But he said, when I go to my spot with the car and I open the doors and the food packets are there, and I see the joy in the eyes of those children and the gratitude in the eyes of those women, I feel compelled to go back there every day. And throughout the COVID, he was there, and praise God, he didn't get sick at all. To our benefactors, those who are present here today, without whom this incredible journey wouldn't be possible. And I want to speak about our benefactors who desire no praise, no recognition. They do their job and they are gone. Not too long ago, we got a call from a benefactor who said, I don't know much about hunger and homelessness, but I would like to help Street Providence. And so a meeting was arranged, and at that time there was a big bill that Street Providence had to pay, and we couldn't pay it. So we explained to him why we did the purchase. We told him the importance it had to the outreach programs for the poor and the needy. He understood, and the bill was paid, and that was it. A few days later, we had the opportunity to publicly thank him. As you all know, Donald is very active on the social media, on Facebook, and he posts everything in detail, he writes. So he asked this benefactor, I'd like to mention you. And he said, no, I don't need the publicity. Now, why I'm mentioning this is because most of our benefactors who help us, they do not want recognition, they don't ask for publicity, they just do the job and that's it. So today, those of you who are present, I welcome you here. I also welcome the government officials, those who are in office and those who have superannuated, but those who have helped us during their tenure in office. And I also want to thank the staff of the government departments, especially the police, the Goa Medical College, the Institute of Psychiatry and Human Behavior, the Directorate of Women and Child Development, the Directorate of Social Welfare, because they are a very important cog in this wheel of ending hunger and homelessness. And without their help, I don't think we would be able to have so many outreach programs in Goa. I also welcome our community partners, the Franciscan Missionaries of Christ the King, or FMCK. 3 of our shelter homes presently run in the premises owned by them. Society of Sisters of Our Lady of Fatima, 2 of our women's shelter homes, premises are in their buildings. NGOs like Udant and Vasco Municipal Social Trust, Presentation Society, the Margaon Food Bank. These are NGOs we partner with, and I welcome them today because of their association. For outreach programs are continuing over the years. I also welcome our corporate partners. As you all know, people in the corporate sector are really busy. They have to be on top of their game. And yet, some of them took a step to stop and ponder on the problems of the hunger. As you all know, this recent initiative of Street Providence to collect food from the corporate canteens. This is excess fresh food that is collected from the canteens of the companies in Verna. So how did this dream of Donald become a reality? It actually took 2 years, but we are grateful to the representatives of the companies because they came, they attended the meetings, they understood the problem, they understood the solution to the problem, went back to their companies, explained to their colleagues, convinced them that this was a good initiative. Today we are collecting 250 to 300 kgs of fresh, nutritious food, which is then redistributed to the needy. Isn't that an amazing job? Thanks to these gentlemen. So why do we all do this? Everyone here, why do we do this? We do this because we believe that our contribution is helping. We at Street Providence do not believe in rational logic or rational thinking. We believe in functioning from our heart. And if our heart tells us that there, on the other side of the road, is a man sitting at the bus stand with mental disabilities and who needs our help, yes, we will be there. Because here I am on this side of the road living in comfort. Now what great deed have I or you done to deserve this? Dr. Ambedkar said that men are all born unequal. Some are born rich, some poor, some intelligent, others not. Yet each and every one of us have to enter into this struggle of existence. So don't you think the haves like us should help the have-nots? The Bible says, do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. And Swami Vivekananda says, arise, awake, and stop not until you reach your goal. I'll say that again. Arise, awake, and stop not until you reach your goal. So what is our goal at Street Providence? Ending hunger and homelessness, not just here in Goa, or not in Jharkhand and not in Manipur and not in India, in the entire universe. And what should we do towards this goal? We need to have a collective hope, a collective vision, a collective prayer, a collective offering, and a collective nirvana. Because but for the grace of God, that could be me, or you, or any of us in the bus stand waiting for help. So today, I welcome each and every one of you for an afternoon of fellowship with the very people that you have helped. Even though they may not come and say thank you, or they may not acknowledge your presence, because many of them suffer from mental disabilities, we believe that our God, who sees everything, will bless and reward you, your families, and your generations for that one act of kindness that you have done, that one act of charity that you have fulfilled, and that one step that you have taken to make their lives better. So once again, a warm welcome to our 7th anniversary celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And as we said, it is Donald's who is the face of it, who's the firefighter, who's always on the forefront, and Jonathan is his sister who does the back room, helping and coordinating with all others. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's something from the people who you all have been helping. They are here, and some of the most intelligent and bright people, listen to them. They are giving their testimony as to how they are being served and helped in the shelter homes.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lucy Fernandez and I'm a BPharm graduate. I did my BPharm through Goa College of Pharmacy. I worked as a pharmacist for a couple of years. I really enjoyed my work. I was financially independent and could take care of myself. Later on, I was diagnosed with mental illness. I took medication and was on the way to recovery. My life was going well. I was happy that despite of my disabilities, I could lead a normal life. But all of a sudden, I became so sick that I could not take care of myself. I could not understand what was going wrong with me. When I am sick, I am totally different person. My sister took a lot of pain and effort to take care of me. I know it was difficult for her, but she did not give up. However, my situation became worse and it was decided that I should be admitted to strict Providence shelter home. Here I arrived in November 2023. Here I received medical care, attention, food, clothing, love of caregivers and lots of friends. I love vocational and art classes. I love cooking. When teacher teaches us some new dish, I love it. I love rehab sessions also. Ma'am takes us to beaches and other new places. I enjoy that too. The caregivers are my friends. We play games together. They are good people and they take care of me. I would like to thank Swapnis sir and Donald sir. Swapnis sir makes it possible that I go for my medical treatment regularly. I would like to thank each and everyone who has helped me. Thank you.
We now have a second person who would be giving his turn, Mayur Chudiwala.
My name is Mayur Chudiwal. I am originally from Pune. I have no one. I came to Goa in July 2019 with a friend. He told me he will give me a job. I had some money. We both come together. After some time, he took all my money and left. I had nothing. I was homeless, no money and no job. I was sleeping at the bus stop. Once I was sleeping at the bus stop near Donald sir's home. He saw me and asked me what I am doing here. Since I have no one, he took me to his shelter home and looked after me. They gave me food, clothing, took me to the doctor as I diagnosed with schizophrenia, a serious mental disease. Bought medicines for me. I was happy. But after some time, I got bored and left. Now again same situation. No food, no money and no home to live. So I came back to Donald sir and said, please take me back. Donald sir is very strict. He wanted to know why I went away, if there was a reason. But there was no reason. Everything was good. But Sapnesh sir said, let him give another chance, and they took me back in the shelter home. But now my medical condition has become worse because when I ran away, I was not taking any medicine. But Sapnesh sir took me to the hospital and once again I got better. Now I started helping in the shelter home. I helped to the other residents. I listened to the caregiver. He taught me some work. I like it in the shelter home. But again I left. I don't know why I did this. After a few days I was very weak and hungry. It was in the rainy season. It was cold and I had no place to sleep. I decided to go back. I came to Donald sir. When he saw me, he asked me, Mayur, why are you doing this? Just when you get better, you leave and come back when you are worse. It takes us so long to stabilize you. Now so much more work for the staff to help you get better. I said, I am sorry sir, I get tempted, but I promise you I will not do this again. I knew he was angry with me, but he also wanted to help me. He called Sapnesh sir. They both agreed to give me one last chance. I am readmitted in the shelter home. Now it is 3 years since the last time I left. I am still on medication daily, but I am leading a normal life. I help in the shelter home and sometimes in the distribution of food. I like watching TV, especially sports. I keep busy all the day, sometimes in the shelter home and sometimes I go out too. I thank you all of you coming here today and listening to my story. Thank you. Thank you.
See, these are real interesting people, and it can be so challenging for the people in Street Providence. Having patience is a great achievement. And before we hear one more testimony, I want to also acknowledge our trustee, Advocate Caroline. So please welcome her. She was busy in this thing. And thank you, Caroline, for coming. And now we have Pavan Pilankar, who will give his testimony.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pawan Pilankar from Anjuna, Goa. My mother and I lived in a small house in Anjuna. I am a person with mental disabilities. I cannot hold a job. I need medication, but we did not have money to buy the medicines. My mother worked, and because of that we had food to eat, but when she became old, we had very hard times. My mother became sick. I did not know how to look after her. I could not look after myself. Those days were very bad. Neighbors were helping us, but we needed more help. When Donald sir came to see us at my house, he decided to help us. In August 2020, both my mother and myself were admitted in the Street Providence shelter home. My mother was so sick that she could not walk and only on bed, but Street Providence took good care of her. I was taken to the doctor and my medical treatment started. Slowly I kept getting better. Today I am completely well. I help in the shelter homes. I serve food to other residents. The caregiver says I do good work. The other boys like me. We have a nice time. Sometimes we play football or cricket in the evenings. We watch TV also. I help in the shelter homes and sometimes Sapne sir takes us out. Once Sapne sir did a barbecue of chicken for us. It was nice. He tells me to stay focused on my good health. Donald sir is strict. He tells me to eat well and keep busy. I am happy here. I thank all of you who helped me. Thank you for listening to me.
The main thing you must remember, our theme, the motto of Street Providence, dare to dream. So yes, because we dare to dream, we have reached this far and we hope to go much further. And I shall just read a small quote that I think which really inspired me while I was in service. It's by a Quaker missionary. I shall pass this way but once. Any good that I can do or any kindness I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer nor neglect it. I shall not pass this way again. Please keep this in your theme. We all pass this earth just once. So let us do something good. Thank you. And now we will have a presentation of multimedia of the 7 years that Street Providence has been working on. Mr. Donald Fernandez, the street fighter of Street Providence, please come on the stage and share your experience. Let us give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
We are happy to have all of you all here in front of us. It's our 7th year anniversary. आणि बरें दिसता की सरकारीचे मनीस हा आमचे सिस्टर लोक हा FMCK आणि फातिमा कॉन्व्हेंट फॅक्टरींतले थोडे हे आहा रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स अशें चिंतूंक ना आमी की ह्या परिस्थितीन आमी पावतले इतले बेगीन. सो चालू केले कित्याक बेकार असले म्हणून फ्रिजी असले आमचे कडेन आनी काम धंदो नासलो तेन्ना 7 वर्सां पयलीं. सो चुकोन आमकां ती मॅडम गावली कॅरोलायन. मातशें एडवोकेट म्हणून मातशें कॉम्प्लिकेटेड मनीस. सो आमकां बगर फोन करतले हे पडले हांगा ते पडले हांगा. सो एक दीस म्हटलें मॅडम आमच्या वांगडा तुमी कामाक या. ना म्हणाला आमी कोर्टान बीन आसता. हांवें म्हणलें तूं बेश्टें राव थिंगा सायन मारपाक कोर्टान मागीर पळया. सो तशें करून आमी ते ट्रस्ट फॉर्म केले आनी सिस्टम चलोंक लागलें आमचें चलोंक लागलें. पूण जे कोत्तले आमी कितें तें जेवण घेतले आनी रस्त्यार वयतले. रस्त्यारसून पोत्तून येतले आनी तोच परिस्थिती. तर चिंतलेलें आमी बाबा आमी एक घर घालया ट्राय करुया. पूण घरा तेन्ना मेळोंक ना आमकां. तो आमकां एक मनीस गावलो जॉन्सन सिक्वेरा म्हणून ब्रदर जॉन्सन. ताका सांगलें बाबा मातसो जागो दी आमकां. सो तेणें तेजे रिट्रीट खातीर आमकां एक जागो दिलो 6 म्हयन्यांक. सो 6 म्हयने करून करून चिंतलें बाबा हे कितें आमी जें कोत्ता तें मातशें कॉम्प्लिकेटेड ते टायमपास न्हू तो. इतले गोंयकार आहा इतले मनीस मातशें तकलेन सारकें ना. आनी ते परिस्थिती तेन्नाच तो एक रूल येयलेलो RPW एक्ट पर्सन्स विथ डिसेबिलिटी 2019. तो एक एक्ट येयलेलो आनी त्या एक्टान अशें म्हटलें की गव्हर्मेंट हॅज टू डू दीस. तर तेन्ना म्हाजी ट्यूबलायट पेटली. बाबा सुप्रीम कोर्टान कितें तरी इश्यू काडला न्ही, सरकारान तो एक्ट केलो जाल्यार ताका कितें डिमांड आसतलो फुडाराक. सो भोंवन भोंवन आमी न्हू खूब डिपार्टमेंटान गेले. एक आसलो तो सोशल वेलफेअर डिपार्टमेंट, तेन्ना एक ताहा आसलो, तो आतां सेक्रेटरी आहा. सो तो म्हणालो मातसो पाशयन्स घे. तो पाशयन्स म्हणलें कितलें, तो पाशयन्स म्हणालो 3-4 वर्सां वयतले म्हणालो. म्हणलें तूं आनी तो काणयो सांगता ते हांगाच उरतले आमी. तरी पूण आमी ते सिस्टम चालू केले. वी टूक अ सपोर्ट ऑफ डिफरंट गव्हर्मेंट ऑफिशियल्स. We started first with the police because they were the most complicated people but the most approachable people, because it looked to be their problem but it was not their problem, because nowhere in their manual it says that the police should have shelter homes. But in due course of time we understood that people are turning disability. They are the process had started for people turning mental disability, and we were there at the right time. We had a good team. We have had 2 teams. Till COVID we had 1 team, and during the COVID we had another team. So till before COVID, March 20, there was a good team, but due to some technical reasons the team went away. And it was during COVID that a lot of things stabilized. The government also understood that we were serious. It's not easy dealing with the government because of genuine reasons. सरकार कितें दिसता, हे बेश्टे NGO येयला पयशे करून वयतले. थोडे थिंगाय बसला, तो राजाराम एकटो आहा आमचो एक इनमेट, बोगर वचोन सांगता हे फक्त पयशे कोत्ता आमच्या नांवान. राजाराम खंय रे. सो अहे मनीस आसता आमचे शीन की तांकां पयलो शिवर मरे, तांकां थार ना आनी दुसऱ्यांकय थार दिवचे ना. बट 7 वर्सां जालीं आमी चिंतता की आमचे कडेन आतां एक 240 बेड्स आहा. 240 आमचे कॅपॅसिटी आहा. आमी चिंतता आतां 500 कॅपॅसिटी वाडयतले. कित्याक ताका एक कारण आहा ते चडशे आमचे फ्रेंड्स आहा हांगा, चडशे आमचे रेजिडेंट्स आहा ते सगळे IPHBतले पेशंट. थिंगा एक सुदेश मायेकर, ताकाय खबर आहा कितें प्रॉब्लम्स आसता ते IPHBन. सो ते प्रॉब्लम्स इतले आहा की IPHB आतां जे 200 बेड्स आहा तांचे ते 400 बेड कोत्ता. अहें की तांकां काम धंदो ना. तांकांय खबर आहा की प्रॉब्लम्स इतले आहा आनी लोक इतलो सीक जाता, लोक इतलो दुयेंत जाता कित्याक मायंडाक पीस ऑफ मायंड ना. सो अहें आहा की आमी तातूंत भितर सरले आनी आतां तो भायरूय सरपाक चान्स ना आनी थिंगा रावपाकय चान्स ना. भायर जर सरले जाल्यार सरकार तुका आडयता, बाबा हे मातशें घे आनी उगी बस. भितर जर रावले जाल्यार तुका ते आनीक घेवचे पडटा. लोक मातशें घे रे, घेना हेंचे पोटां भरली रे, हेंच्यांनी पयशे केले. सो परिस्थिती अशी आहा की द पर्सन विथ डिसेबिलिटी, इट्स अ ह्यूज नंबर. इट इज रायझींग टू एन एक्सटेंट. इट इज कवरिंग नाव अल्कोहॉल, ड्रग्स, pressure and families. So it is covering various sectors, and there are more people required to enter this service of providing care for people with mental disabilities. In this also we have been able to tap into food. So we were fortunate enough to get food from the governor, which we are getting last 2 years. आनी एक दीस तो आमकां एक गावलो, गव्हर्नरचो सेक्रेटरी मीर वर्धन. ताका कितें सांगलां हें, तो तापला, आमच्या तोंडार तोंड जालें. तो आतां गव्हर्नरचो सेक्रेटरी. म्हाका म्हणालो तूं सदांच बोब मारता म्हणालो. हांवें म्हणलें तुका कितें दिसता आमी बेश्टे टायमपास करता हांगा. ना म्हणालो. हांवें म्हणलें आमकां जेवण जाय. ते जेवणाचो कॉस्ट वाडटा. 50% आमचो कॉस्ट जेवणानूच आसता. सो म्हाका म्हणलो कितें आयडिया आहा तुज्या. हांवें म्हणलें आमकां ते फॅक्ट्रीन वचूंक जाय. आनी आमी म्हणलें खंयच्या डिपार्टमेंटान गेला. तो म्हणलो थिंगा वचना नाकाय, गो टू फॅक्ट्री एंड बॉयलर्स म्हणालो, ते तुजे कामां फास्ट जातली. पण आतां वचना काय म्हणालो, 6 म्हयन्या उपरांत वच. हांवें म्हणलें कित्याक. आतां सद्दां म्हणालो एक इंचार्ज आहा ते वचपाचे आहात, ते तुजे तकलेन बसचे ना. सो 1 वर्स पयलीं आमकां एक संजीत रॉड्रिक्स गावलो. आमी ताजे गेडे उलय प्रपोजल दिलें. प्रपोजल बरो आहा म्हणालो. आमकां मातशें गिव अस 6 months. सो लास्ट 6 months द Department of Factory and Boilers, they called 12-15 companies. We explained the project. They accepted the project, and it has come to a state now that almost 40 to 50% of our food cost, maybe even 60% of our food cost has been taken care by these 7-8 factories, which are daily giving us fresh canteen extra cooked food, which has brought our cost down. So like these projects we keep adding, like these projects we keep seeing what are the problems. But end of the day, frankly speaking, even if I want to put my phone off and go to sleep, it's not possible. And frankly speaking, if I want to keep my phone also on, it's another problem. But we request that, more people should come forward. More people should focus on providing care to people with disabilities. We have more than 80% people here who are Goans. A lot of people here who we take care of are, some will permanently be with us because there is no other options. Out of these 80% Goans, at least 60% are permanently going to be with me either till I am alive or either till the shelter home is alive. So that is the paristiti we are in today in Goa, which is much better. But across India, it's a very, very complicated and difficult scenario. I went to Jharkhand once and I went to the hospital and the guy said, "Mobile ko mat hath lagao. Mobile ko hath lagaya tum first jayega. Idhar dekh lo," he said, "picture dekh lo." And what we saw in the hospital in Jharkhand was extremely, bara disang namaka. First time I saw in my life, somebody was chained like this. He was chained. I saw different people in that day in the hospital, but I have not seen, मतलब खुईच पोंग ना. आता खूप जाण वयता, आमचे खूप जाण फ्रेंड आसता जे मेंटल हॉस्पिटलान वयता. केन्ना पळयला तुमी कोणाक चेन करून हाडला? कोणें पोंग ना. तो असले परिस्थिती आहा थोड्या गांवांनी जे तांकां वखद ना, तांकां फॅसिलिटी ना, तांकां दोतोर ना आनी लोक तांकां बांदून दवरता भितर. बांदून दवरता, रुमान घालता, लॉक मारता. म्हाका खबर ना कितें कोत्ता ते. सो हांव फक्त देवाक थँक्यू म्हणटा की आमकां एक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी दिले. बाबा आमचे कडेन टायम आसलो, आमचे कडेन सेटअप आसलो, ते सगळे इट ऑल फिल्ड इन द ब्लँक्स. जे गॅप्स आसले सरकारा कडेन खूब जाण चिंत म्हाका सांगता, तुमी बेश्टे बोब मारता मरे. हांव म्हणटा तुमी एनजीओ घाला, तुमी बोब मारा, तुमकांय सरकार पयशे दितले, तुमकांय डोनेशन मेळटले, तुमकां CSR मेळटले. चालू कर, स्टार्ट. If everybody feels NGOs are only making money, it's a wide option. It's a wide option for people to come forward, start a shelter home, do something for the poor. And we take this opportunity to thank our staff, especially the staff who work with us. We have close to 63 staff with us on our payroll, starting from Sapnesh, going to our drivers, going to the caregivers, going to people who work back office, to my sister who we quite often don't agree to agree. We won't talk about Caroline because that's a separate issue. But we are just grateful that the system is working in our favor. Okay, we have had issues. We have asked activists to help us. There is Rama there. There is Tara Kerkar there. There is Artha there. Only Shankar Puji is not here and Pratima. But we need to put pressure on the government because the government has kept thousands of crores for people with disability, but they are not taking it out. And we as an NGO are permanently putting pressure on the government, which even Guru Pavaskar said. Any government official will tell you, this fellow will come here and fight with us. That is my job. My job is to fight with the government because the government is not doing their job. So we thank everybody present here. We thank Bishop Theodore. We especially thank Sister Vandana. This has been two, that good and bad. The good part is Sister Vandana gave us the opportunity to start a shelter home for women. We were never having, म्हणजे आमच्या मनान नासले वुमन्स लेडीजाक पळोवपाचे, आमी फक्त चिंतलेले मॅनूच पळयतले. पूण तो डिमांड जे येवंक लागलो न्हू, तो आमी FMCK, वी वेंट टू FMCK सिस्टर एंड शी सेड येस. But it's not easy dealing with them because they have their thinking, we have our thinking. But we completed with FMCK 6 years of ups and downs, fighting and not fighting. And now from FMCK we have branched out into Fatima sisters, who are not bad people. They don't fight with us, but adjustable because they have a sister Edith, 50 years of experience dealing with shelter homes, dealing with people, and we feel happy that we had approached Sister Vandana. If there was no Sister Vandana, believe me, there would have been no woman shelter home in Street Providence at all, because there was no link, there was no cross connection, parallel connection with when we started to put up a women's shelter home. We found it next to impossible. It went further ahead due to Bishop Theodore. He said, I have a nursing college in Jharkhand which is having some issues. So we agreed to sort out that problem. And now we feel that, by end of 2024, we are able to take in, we will have at least 100 ladies suffering from disabilities under our roof. So there were many connections starting from Sister Fatima, Sister Vandana. It went to Bishop Theodore and it now reached Sister Fatima Convent. And we appreciate, the convents providing us space. We appreciate they providing us support in the work we do. Otherwise, they will have never been women shelter homes at Street Providence. So thank you all of you all for coming here. Let's hope we meet again soon with another project, another program at another day. Thank you so much.
Well, that's Donald for you. Straightforward, always transparent, doesn't mince words. But we are all his well-wishers, although he'll always keep fighting with all of us. But that's how it works. And it looks like our multimedia is given way. Sometimes technology is a real challenge. But let us not be disappointed. I think welcome.
Yes, sir. Sit.
Welcome, Gaurav and Gautam. These are also our benefactors. He has been an ex-commander in the Navy. Thanks for coming. And before we conclude, I would now request Bishop Theodore to say a few words.
Dear Donald, Bosco, Juanita, Caroline, Dorothy, the whole family is here. Our distinguished guests, benefactors, sisters. I take great pleasure to be present wherever the poor are served, because this has been my life's mission also. And when I see the 7-year journey, 7 is a very important number in the Bible. 7 in the Bible means completion. And every completion is also a launching pad. We have 7 years of drought, 7 years of plenty. We have 7 years where everything is supposed to be perfect. I begin by congratulating Donald, all his collaborators for this beautiful initiative. Everybody says Donald is strict, straightforward, he fights with everybody. He has not yet fought with me. But when there is a fire burning in your heart, that fire has to go and burn out somewhere. And when it burns in the right place, in the right way, then something new is created. I come from Jharkhand, and we had Father Constant Levens, a missionary who came from Belgium. He would go on his horse and he fought for the rights of the poor tribals, especially their lands. Died at the age of 39 of malaria, tuberculosis. And his process of canonization is going on. But it has been stopped. You know why? Because in the process it was written, his superiors told him, you are too sick to work, you must go back to Belgium. He refused. He wanted to continue working, so that was marked as disobedience. But the fire was burning and he said, his motto was, Aag jalti rahe. Let the fire keep burning, or the fire must burn. And this is the fire that has started serving so many people. I don't know whether I have the competence to do it, but in name of all these poor people, I would like to thank you. To thank you all for this beautiful initiative, without which these people, many of them would have still been on the streets today. Donald is right, this is the work of the government. They take the taxes, they're supposed to run the government. But when they don't run, we have to step in. I can say this because, as I said, I come from Jharkhand. My people still live in the jungles. I have 3 districts in my diocese. 2 of them are among the 10 poorest in the country. I have people who still eat roots for survival, who eat leaves for survival. And I make it a point to drive down to those villages, meet those people, talk to them, try to serve them. And when Donald approached me to open his first house, I was still in Ranchi, a little better place because part of it is city. But as we developed further, I came to Daltonganj as apostolic administrator, and he offered me this possibility of starting a shelter home together. And we began as a shelter home, which after almost 10 months is still not getting its license because government officials keep dragging and we are struggling. But that is happening with us in every part of life, whether it's education, whatever. We don't grumble. I had told Donald when he came, in 8 days we'll get it. I said, this is not Goa, this is Jharkhand. Now after 10 months, he has finally agreed with me for once that things are very, very difficult. But I said, that is my daily life for the last 9 years, 10 years almost. I live that daily life. I see things have to happen. They are not happening till I personally go and start doing it. But when you see work happening like this, you feel happy. So I thank them first. But this work cannot go ahead unless you have good collaborators. And these collaborators require a special word of praise. Whether they are FMCK sisters, whether they are Fatima sisters, whether they are the caretakers, Sapnesh, Bosco, you have the whole family involved in it, friends, they require a word of praise. It is not easy to deal with these situations, nor with these people, because they are unpredictable. Beautiful testimony that boy gave. 3 times he ran away. I have seminarians who run away 3 times and want to come back. And I know how angry it makes me. But to have that patience. When my seminarians sometimes say, man nahi lagta, they go home. And then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, na Swamiji, father banna hai. And he comes back and my fathers get angry, Bishop, you are too patient. Some of them have really become very good seminarians now. But that moment of patience is what is necessary. And therefore I commend them. And third, nothing runs without benefactors. The Catholic Church is accused of making money. Where we make money, I don't know. You know, there's a story told about Saint Lawrence. Saint Lawrence, this is at the time of the Roman emperors, and he was supposed to be the treasurer of the Roman kingdom, a Roman church. And the emperor called him and said, bring all your treasures and come. And he gathered all the poor of the city and he said, these are my treasures. That is the work we do, and we are proud of that. But we are proud of you who are helping us in this mission. And I know not all benefactors are rich. Many benefactors, I tell this to my seminarians, I tell this to my priests, I tell this to my people. Not all benefactors are people who have a lot of money. Many of them save and give us. thank you very much for that support that you gave us. आज मेरे झारखंड के बच्चियों, आप लोगों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। दूर से आए हैं, सही बात है कि स्ट्रीट प्रोविडेंस से मदद मिली है आप लोगों को ट्रेन करने के लिए, लेकिन जो करते हैं प्यार से कीजिए। जैसे फादर लीवंस बोलता था, वो प्यार का आग आप लोगों के दिलों में जलते रहना चाहिए। यदि प्यार से करेंगे आप लोगों को प्यार मिलेगा। शायद ये लोगों से नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन कहीं से प्रभु आप लोगों को प्यार भेजेगा ही भेजेगा। जितना भी हम करते हैं, और भी लड़के आने वाले हैं, अभी एंड ऑफ द मंथ आने वाले हैं, और मैं डोनर को, स्ट्रीट प्रोविडेंस को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आप लोगों का कॉलेज हम बचा सके, उसके मदद से आप लोगों को आगे बढ़ा सके। अभी आप लोग भी सेवा दे रहे हैं, वो देते रहेंगे आप लोगों को, आप लोगों के परिवार को प्रभु अपना आशीष भरपूर देते रहेगा। I just missed one little thing, but it's a big thing. Because of Street Providence, we were able to give more than 1,000 blankets to our poor people. We were able to give more than 1,000 pairs of shoes. Our children walked 7-8 kilometers without shoes to school. We managed to give more than 1,000. He has sent clothes which we could not distribute because of the election business now. So they just arrived a few weeks before. Some clothes that he has settled, put in place and sent. He sent us noodles once, and children knew it only as Maggie. And they said, "Kabhi nahi khaya tha, pehle baar kha rahe hain." So these are things. Just to tell you, one of our children who got a pair of shoes wanted to carry it back home like this because he did not want to dirty it any further. No, that was and they had never worn shoes, some of them. So when we asked for the shoe number to order from Calcutta, they asked what number. They were class 4, they said 4 number. So some class 5 said 5 number. And when the shoes came, 4 and 5 was not fitting. We had 34 pairs which we had to return and get back because they did not know what is the number of the shoe. So, but thank you for all. And I hope more people join us. As I said, we really require help, not for ourselves, but for our people. Thank you, everybody. God bless you, and God be with you.
Thank you, Bishop Theodore. Well, it's always good, no? A proud son of Goa working in the deep jungles of Jharkhand, and I always wanted, because when I was in Arunachal, I was very keen to see a Goan priest. Somehow there were no Goan priests in Jharkhand, in Arunachal, and you always miss because. Forget about priests, you couldn't find anybody, no Goan, because at least you will love to hear your language somewhere or the other. Until after nearly a year in Arunachal, I finally found Father Yvonne, who I spoke on the phone and the first day, Baba koso aato. So it's nice. So we do pray and hope that you continue being the missionary person that you are. Yes, now is the main function for what we are saying. Like, I think this is the first time we are celebrating our anniversary as such, 7 years. And coming from a uniform force today, I suggested to Donald that, we always have a foundation day, Goa Police Foundation Day, so we should also have for the NGO. So, he said, sir, it doesn't work that way. But immediately he took it up. I said it will be a nice gathering of having everyone, and we honor all those who have helped us. So now we are going to honor all those. Yeah. Well, the benefactor who has been and spiritually helping us, let us honor him first. It is first. Bishop, although you have to give it to you, I will give it to you. I give it to Bishop Theodore.
will give this, my secretary, no.
David is going to be the future bishop of Dalton.
And on behalf of Street Providence, we would like to honor Mr. Bosco George. I was asking him that from the uniformed force, from law and order, how did you adjust to this homelessness and hunger? And he said, Janita, it's okay, I'm doing very well. And let me tell you, he's not only doing very well, he's doing excellent. So today we honor him, and there's a small award for you, Bosco. These awards go to our corporate partners. So there's Lupin Verna Goa. Is anybody come from Lupin?
Representative of Micro Labs Limited, please. Representative of MRF, please. MRF. Request sister from FMCK, Sister Vandana. Sister Edith, Society of Sisters of Our Lady of Fatima. Representative of Vasco Municipal Social Trust. Vasco Muslim Social Trust. Representative of Udant, Anita. Okay, both come. Dr. Shaman, physiotherapist, please come. Madam Tara Kirkar. Shri Rama Kantkondkar, please. Bishop, we will now give to your caregivers who are here. Manisha Lakra.
आइए फटाफट आइए, फटाफट आ जाइए, यहाँ आके खड़े हो जाइए, सब 10 लोग आ जाओ।
Rinki Topo. Seema Bangra. Binko Mange. Alina Topo. लीमा तिरके, नीतू तिरके, सिमंती कुचूर, इनू कुमारी, एलिना वोरा, और कोई कैरगिवर है जो जिसको नहीं मिला? प्लीज आप आइए.
एलिना
Thank you very much, Bishop. And before we conclude, the man, or as we say, whose boots on the ground, we request Sapnesh, the all-powerful, the all-available, to come forward and say a few words. Come on, Sapnesh. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big hand. He's the man who is actual face of street Providence on the ground.
कितें सांगूंक तें समजना. हांव केन्ना अशी स्टेजीर उलयना. डॉनल्ड सदांच तोच तो परत परत म्हाका धाडटलो तो उलोवपाक. आनी मॅडम आहा आमची हांगा 7 वर्सां जालीं आतां आमचे स्ट्रीट प्रोविडनान. सो हांव काम करता तेजे पयलींसान डॉनला वांगडा. सो आमी दुसरें मार्केटींग करताले. सो तो मार्केटींग आनी हांव मार्केटींगूच करतालो. सो आफ्टर 7 years हांव ऑलमोस्ट 10 वर्सां जालीं डॉनला वांगडा आहा. सो आनी स्ट्रीट प्रोविडन्स हांव म्हाका 5 वर्सां जालीं. सो तेजे पयलीं आसलो हांव स्ट्रीट प्रोविडना वांगडा. मात हांव इन स्ट्रीट प्रोविडन्स नासलो, मात हांव दुसरे मार्केटींग कंपनीन आसलो. सो हांव हेल्प करतालो म्हाजे वाटेन. सो म्हाका एक चान्स मेळ्ळो, हांवें हेल्प करूंक स्टार्ट केलें. आनी एक दीस म्हाका स्ट्रीट प्रोविडन्स म्हाका डॉनल मेळलो, तूं आतां हांगासून स्टार्ट कर. सो हांव तेज्या वांगडा आहा. सो तो कितें सांगता तो हांव तो जितकी फास्ट आहा तितकी स्पीड म्हाकाय धरची पडटा, कित्याक तिची स्पीड चड फास्ट, सुपर फास्ट ते स्पिडीक मात तेज्या वांगडा रावन आतां म्हाजी स्पीड मातशी तेका तेंकता. म्हणजे वांगडा म्हणजे काम करता वांगडा म्हणटकूच ते सगळे डेली कॉल्स, डेली उलोवप ते सगळें चालूच आसता. सो तेज्या वांगडा रावन म्हाका तो पावर मेळटा काम करपाक. आनी ते हांव काम करपाक हांव खूब हॅप्पी जाता. कित्याक म्हाजी जी टीम आहा, म्हाजे ड्रायवर्स, म्हाज्या वांगडा काम करतात ते, म्हाजे स्टाफ आनी सगळे घरांतले केअर गिवर ज्या वांगडा हांव कॉर्डिनेट करता हे घरां चलोवपाक. जर तर ते कॉर्डिनेशन जायना जाल्यार ती घरां चलपाक जायना. आनी तेंच्या वांगडा रावन जे आमी कॉम करून ते फुडें व्हरतात. एवरी डे आमकां एपॉयंटमेंट्स आहा. ते एवरी डे आमकां ते प्लॅनिंग करचें पडटा. हॉस्पिटलान व्हरोंक जाय, मागीर कितके हॉस्पिटलान खंयच्या घरांसून खंयसून हॉस्पिटलान वचोंक जाय, सावथाक खंयचें हॉस्पिटल वचोंक जाय, IPH वचोंक जाय, GMCन वचोंक जाय. 180 आतां आमचे स्टाफ हे इनमेट्स आहा सगळे, ऑलमोस्ट 180 आहा. सो इतके जाणांक मॅनेज करपाक, तांकां हे हॉस्पिटलान व्हरपाक सगळें प्लॅनिंग जाय आनी म्हाका स्टाफ जाय. ते म्हाजे स्टाफ आहा ते म्हाज्या वांगडा प्लॅनिंग करता आनी म्हाज्या वांगडा काम करतात. ड्रायवर्स ना जाल्यार म्हाजें काम जायना, आनी म्हाजे जे प्लॅनिंग पार्टनर्स ना जाल्यार म्हाजें काम जायना, जाल्यार हांव शिरकोन उरता.
नाल्यार केन्ना केन्ना सगळेच हे प्रॉब्लम आसा केन्ना केन्ना 12-15 जाण एक दीस आमी हॉस्पिटलान व्हरचें पडटा कित्याक तो प्लॅनिंग करून जर करिना जाल्यार तें जायना काम. सो म्हाजो स्टाफ जिको आहा तांकां हांव थँक्यू म्हणटा जे म्हाज्या वांगडा काम करता तिकेत, आनी हांगा येयल्यार तिक्यांकू हांव थँक्यू म्हणटा तुमी तुमचो टायम काडून हांगा येयल्यात. हे आमचे धाकटुलो प्रोग्राम जो आमी व्हडलो केला आतां. थँक्यू.
Okay, I now request Dr. Inacio. Dr. Inacio is our doctor who is attached with Street Providence on a full-time basis and who visits most of our homes, and to actually look after the very passionate doctor who has joined. And I think, welcome doctor, please say a few words.
I really am so glad to have this opportunity. I won't take up much time. I know this, food smell is coming. Everyone's palate is up. I'll just give you a brief idea of how I got to know about Street Providence. So I did my medicine MBBS in Philippines. I was in GMC for about a year. During that time, I was posted in IPHB, which is Institute of Psychiatry and Human Behavior. And I do not know how many of you know this, but there is also a home by the government in Margao. But IPHB, the first, when patients are treated, after a week, their consultations, everything is done, and they have to be sent back home or sent out on the street. The first name that comes out from the consultants, from the residents, is what about Street Providence? And there are files, like Street Providence, and that's how we know that these patients are from Street Providence. And I was kind of, like, what is this all about? Like, what is Street Providence all about? I asked one of the residents, and he told me about this project by Donald. And I don't know, where is Donald? Yeah, there he is. And I immediately gave him a call. And he was like, yeah, okay, what are you doing? And are you interested? And I went to his home. I went to one of the homes and I volunteered for 4 months. And I can tell you that all the work, I know many of the people are not mentioned, like Arthur. Arthur is a big help. And I'm sure many of you all have seen him in the videos as well. And Sapnesh, of course, like, he's on calls. I've sat with Sapnesh in the car. And I have not seen him for even 1 minute without his phone. He gets calls and calls and calls. And a lot of other people, the cooks, the caretakers, they're doing an amazing job. And, being a doctor, to be able to help them is something, and to see them working for something that we should be doing, it's really great. And Donald asked me recently, would you like to be with us full time? And being in this rat race, the medical community, where we all want to do post-graduation and move up and do other things, it was really a great opportunity to be a part of this. So thank you, Donald, and thank you the entire team of Street Providence who has made this possible. And thank you all for coming here. And thank you to all the residents as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Inacio. And I think we were missing out for the multimedia presentation. It is ready now. So let's, just a few minutes, let us see it. And then we can, there will be a photo session with all the staff of, with Bishop, all the staff of Street Providence. Okay.